They say that all living beings have two things in common. They all want to reduce their suffering, and they are all seeking out happiness. And when it comes to our pursuit of happiness, I think it's always important to remind ourselves what is it that will truly make us happy. And this is important because so often we're seeking out different things, different experiences, being around different people, thinking that this will be the thing that truly brings us joy, and yet ultimately we still find ourselves dissatisfied. And I think a lot of that has to do with a bad or incorrect definition of happiness. A definition that I learned that was really helpful is to understand that something that truly makes you happy isn't something that's going to diminish the more that you have it. It isn't something that's going to fade away over time. Just imagine you're seeking even a small pleasure to bring you joy, to bring you happiness, a piece of cake. The first bite of that cake, I'm sure, is going to be delicious. Maybe the whole cake is going to be delicious. But you could relate with the idea that if you were forced to eat that same cake all day, instead of it bringing you more joy, you'll find that that same piece of cake that you love so much is now causing you to suffer. It's making you sick. You may find that same piece of cake now to be revolting. And so, while it is something that brought you a temporary sense of happiness, under this definition, it wouldn't be something that would bring you true happiness. Even when you see an old friend, someone who you've been wanting to see for a long time, when you're first in the presence of that person, yeah, you're going to be overjoyed. But maybe after 10 hours, 2 days, 1 week, you're going to be thinking, I think maybe our time is up here. Maybe we could allow the heart to grow fonder through a little bit of separation. Because even in a relationship that tight, that brings us that much happiness, it also diminishes over time. And so, by this standard, you start to ask yourself, well, if all of these things aren't true happiness, and of course, none of them are wrong, we all have these desires, and we're allowed to have these things that bring us happiness. They're essential in so many ways. But when you start to ask yourself, well, if these aren't the things that are going to bring me lasting happiness, then what will? What is that thing that will only be enhanced the more that I have it, that will never fade away, that will not cause me to suffer over time? And one of the responses that I learned to that question is peace of mind. If we look at peace as something that will bring us joy and bring us happiness, and I could say at this phase of my life, I truly seek peace. I truly want to cultivate a peaceful way of living. And so when I'm in those environments, when I'm in these situations, I do find a lot of joy in that. And what you'll learn is when it comes to peace and peace of mind, you don't tire of it. It doesn't harm you the more that you have it. I can't picture saying, I've been living so content and so peaceful for the past week that I just can't take it anymore. I need drama and chaos and conflict. I really need these things. It's very unlikely to happen. The more peace you cultivate, the more peace you may desire, the more peace that you get, the better it's going to be. And what I really like about this understanding is that while there are many things that we can do to immediately make our lives more peaceful, it really comes more through cultivating inner qualities that are going to be conducive to that type of lifestyle. Are we challenging what makes us angry? Are we thinking about what it is that we're grateful for in life, as opposed to looking at all the things that we don't have? Are we humble in how we're moving through this world and our day-to-day interactions? And so there's just so many things that we could add on to this idea of a peaceful life that will make us holistically better. And the more that we're cultivating all of these qualities, the better it's going to get. And it's not going to be something that will diminish. And so by this definition, a peaceful mind is one of the primary sources of happiness. And you could just look at how people operate when they don't have a peaceful state of mind. We see people who may not have a lot of things materially speaking, but because they have a peace of mind, you could see that these people are happy. And then, of course, there's the opposite. There's the people who have all the things that probably the majority of the world desires, all the material affluence, the fame, the recognition, all of these different things, and yet they're still dissatisfied. They're still seeking more. No matter how much of it they have, it's never enough. And so ultimately, those things don't bring them the lasting happiness that you would think those things would bring, given how much everybody claims to want those. And it doesn't make any of those things bad. It's just a matter of anchoring our happiness to so many of these material pursuits, as opposed to thinking about what is the mindset we're going to need that's going to make us happy regardless of our situation. That's all I got for this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next video.